This is my Sig M18. Apparently it's a military overrun. Not necessarily sure what that means, but I guess to my knowledge it just doesn't say P320 on the slide. It's got some extra markings and numbers here, and the serial number starts with a TC prefix, which is apparently the same as the USGI M17s and M18s. That doesn't really matter that much to me. I was looking for a compact slide P320 that I could use as a build platform for kind of this integrated compensator type of situation, and this was available at my local gun shop, so I picked it up. I've done a bunch of trigger work to it. I got rid of the manual safety. I'll talk about some of the recoil system tuning I've done to work better with the compensator. I've tried this grip module and it's my favorite. I've also tried the Wilson Combat P320 grip module and didn't like that one as much. I'll go over both of those and all the details of this build. I want to talk about the trigger. It's not bad, but it's not great. Lots of room for improvement. I like the short take up. It does have a little notch in it. You can definitely feel the little safety catch on the striker itself being disengaged. The brake has quite a bit of creep. Kind of mush, 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 then put. It doesn't really have a nice defined snap like I like. I do like the reset. It's short, audible, tactile, really positive, kind of forces your finger out. It is a little bit gritty feeling. So we'll get this on the trigger pull gauge here. Slightly under 6 pounds. Uh, 5 3/4 pounds. Just right under 6 pounds. So that's really not bad for kind of like a duty trigger. It's just pretty decent. I can shoot decent with it, shoot pretty accurately, but lots of room for improvement. Before I get my trigger components in this fire control unit here, I just smoothed up the trigger pull a lot, smoothed out the take up and the reset of the trigger, as well as just lowered the trigger weight by about a half a pound, and I only did a few things. So first up is this face right here is where the striker gets caught on the sear, so I polished that. And then I also polished this little ridge right here, which is the firing pin lock or firing pin block. You have to remove your striker for that. That's super easy. I pulled the fire control unit out and I polished up this little lever right here, which is the disconnector. And then I polished up this little shoe right here on the top of it. I didn't remove any components from the fire control unit to do this. I was able to get these with a stone right here and here. And so smooth up the disconnector and smooth up the actuator for the firing pin safety, and like, wow, it just took the staginess out of the take up. It just smoothed up my trigger reset, and it just dropped the weight by about a half a pound. And then this right here, this ledge is where the striker gets hung up on to get ready to fire. So when I pull this whole thing apart to do a new trigger bar and a trigger, and also get rid of the safety right here, I will pull that sear out and also dress up that edge right there with a really fine stone. So right now I'm disassembling my fire control unit. I'm putting in Wilson Combat extended slide release. I got the kind of like the X5 style trigger, getting rid of the manual safety. All you have to do that is buy this one pin right here. It's about $9. And then also at this same time, to complement the other polishing I've done, I removed my sear all the way, and I'm going to polish this little edge right here. And that is what interfaces with the striker, just to finish smoothing up the action of this thing. Got our fire control unit all back together. Apex tactical trigger bar. We got the Sig X5 skeletonized flat face trigger. Wilson Combat extended slide release. Got rid of the manual safety and replaced it with that little pin right there. And also got a little polish, might be hard to see, on the sear face there where it contacts the striker. Got the trigger all installed in here, ready to go. There's the take up, it's almost none. Now we have a little bit of creep, and then a nice crisp snap, and kind of instead of a mush or a bleh. And there's no over travel whatsoever. And the reset is still really nice, positive, shorter, audible, and tactile. Trigger feels good. So after I did, at first it was about 6 pounds after I did the initial polishing of the trigger components. It was down to about 5.5. So let's see what it is now. 4 1/4. Three 3/4. Just a hair under 4. On this Wilson Combat grip module, it's got really good texture here, really good texture here. This feels really similar to the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0, which is like my favorite texture of any polymer framed gun right out of the box. This was not nearly aggressive enough, so I did some stippling work myself on it and kind of tried to keep the same starburst pattern because that looks cool. It's still not quite there in terms of grippiness. The undercut right here is higher, and the beaver tail is higher on this grip module than the factory M18 grip module, so it really it made it feel like it didn't have such a high bore axis. When I first picked up the M18, I was like, whoa, the bore is way up there. And then with this, I don't get that feeling. It's still a bit tall on the slide, but it feels a lot better. It nestles down further into the hand. I wish it was a bit narrower this direction and a bit wider in this direction. That would personally just fit my hand better. You know, that's pretty subjective. It's got a nice flare all the way around that mag well. And then you can see I got the tungsten weight kit for it and used a little bit of silicon RTV to fix them in there, and that added 1.5 ounces to the grip module, and I really like the feel of that. The factory Sig full-size X5 Legion grip module, as you can see, I textured or stippled the whole thing. It was not nearly grippy enough, so I did that myself. Swapped over my extended mag release. I bought this one with the included steel mag well, and as you can see down in there, there's a nice big weight inside that grip module that makes this thing significantly heavier than a standard P320 grip module and the Wilson Combat module with the integrated weights in it. 7.24 ounces, and here's the Wilson Combat one. It does have the tungsten weights in it. 4.83, so almost 3 ounces heavier. Probably about 2.5 ounces heavier, 2 3/4 ounces heavier on this guy. What I complained about on the Wilson Combat Grip module, where it was too wide this direction and not wide enough this direction, this one feels a lot better. It fits my hand a lot better. It still has a nice high undercut here on the trigger and a nice high beaver tail that really makes it feel like the bore axis is lower in your hand. 21 round mags fit no problem with the Magwell. That's the magazines I prefer to run. And then all my 17 round mags, I bought 2 with the Legion base plates, and then the 117 round that the M18 came with, I bought a Legion base plate for it. And those fit, but they're kind of like, you know, flush with the Magwell, so they're actually not great for super quick reloads. What I do like about this Magwell is, A, it's steel, it's heavy, it's got a nice finish on it, and also it's beveled super nicely right there into the Magwell. This is the final configuration of the gun and my preferred configuration. The X5 Legion grip module definitely is my favorite out of the 3 that I've tried. I've already gone over the trigger and the fire control unit in details. I have the Wilson Combat extended magazine release. I really like that part. I'm running a Zafiri Precision threaded and extended barrel. This is the Harrington Arms Compensator. It's the shorter or smaller of the 2 that they offer on their website for the P320. I'm running a Sig Romeo Zero Pro optic with the steel shroud on it, and this takedown lever, I believe the company is called Gas Pedal, but the way I grip the gun in my hand and thumb size, it is just in the perfect position for me to really wrench down on the muzzle of this gun. And in addition to the compensator, it just makes it so soft shooting and so pleasant to shoot, and there's barely any muzzle flip at all. So to tune the recoil system on this, because I am running the oh Jesus, I always do that. I got the Armory Craft Sig P320 compact recoil tuning kit. When I first started running the compensator on this with the factory, you know, kind of like dual captured recoil setup, it's 16 pounds is the weight on it, and it was barely cycling with my 115 grain range ammo that I practice with. So like I had to really wrench down on it and make sure I wasn't limp wristing it, otherwise I'd get stovepipes. So I went ahead and got this kit. It comes with 3 springs. This is 11 pound. I'm running 13 pound. That works for me. Stock is 16 pound. Then it comes with an extra power 18 pound if you're running some crazy hot defense loads or something like that. But it has a little washer that goes in here that plugs up that front hole so it fits really tightly around that recoil guide rod, which is steel and a nice black nitride finish on it, and then also helps capture that spring. So the whole kit is only, you know, 45-50 bucks, something like that, and I think it's an absolute necessity if you plan to run a compensator on the Sig P320. This is a decent little optic. I hate that the button is in front of the emitter to adjust the brightness and turn it on and off. That's super dumb. I wish people would quit doing that. You know, Delta Point Pro does that and stuff. But I was looking for a inexpensive, large windowed optic that would direct mount to this slide, and this is a pretty good cheap option. I got it in a bundle with this little weapon light right here. The Foxtrot 1X, I paid $200 for both of them. And for the performance of this dot and what I use it for, which is pretty much strictly range use, and what I paid for it, I think it's a great option. I did a full review on this optic because I only saw like 1 or 2 videos on YouTube regarding it, so I tried to get some more information out there, and I will link to that in the description down below. Final thoughts on this build: I love it. It's great. It's such a fun gun to shoot. It shoots awesome. Compensator makes a little bit of a difference on my 115 grain range ammo. It works better on hotter loads with higher velocity, but I got the recoil system dialed in for the compensator. It runs like a sewing machine. I love this grip module, especially now that I added some more texture to it. Trigger's great, gas pedal's great, fits my hand and where my thumb is perfectly. This optic is reliable. It's held 0. I've probably got, you know, 300 or 400 rounds through it at this point. For what I paid for it and what I use it for, it's a great option. I am very pleased with this gun. It's really fun. I remember I shot my buddy's M17 when he first got it, and I hated it. So I'm glad I gave this platform another look.